Bill Carroll, Zenny62 Media, and I have a couple of props for you, including one. Once again, I keep saying this, but once again, if this player tests well physically, I feel like pretty close to a lock to be drafted, if nothing more than just because of his sheer physical stature, size. So, Mason Gilbert, after spending a nice run, a nice career, right? Uh, Stacking up a nice, solid set of statistics and accomplishments. Originally from DeWitt High School, from finds his way from DeWitt High School to Lafayette, is a leopard and a successful one. But the biggest thing, of course, is he's the biggest thing, right? He's listed at 6'8", probably a legit 6'7" and a quarter, 6'7" and 3/8, somewhere in there. Probably a legit 252, 253, just absolutely massive. Uh, Once again, we're getting the last of sort of those COVID guys, but in 2001, in the spring season, which was just 3 games, he did see time on both special teams and some snaps on offense. Post a 3.25 GPA as well at a school that is close to Ivy League level academics, then is an All Patriot League first teamer in his first full year. Once again, still 2001 in the fall season. And so, because of that, once again, it's given that extra year of eligibility. But 17 catches, 134 yards, and had 5 catches against a very good William and Mary defense. Then, in his redshirt sophomore season, goes out, has a fantastic season. Again, it starts 10 of 11 games, 15 catches, 174 yards, a touchdown. Also, good blocker. And obviously, the the bar is measured differently. I'm not measuring him against the Riley Odoms and Eric Greens and Billy Joe Dupree's of the past. Even Ted Qualick, dating myself. But he's a solid blocker for the way that they ask tight ends to block nowadays. Had a reception in 8 or more games that year, and got his first career touchdown once again uh, against William and Mary, who he seems to have big games against. And then last year, total breakout season, first team All Conference, 12 games, 20 catches on the season for 229 yards and 2 touchdowns. Had a reception in 11 games, at least one reception in 11 games, and lit up Princeton for a touchdown and 4 catches. Also had a good game against Colgate, touchdown against Lehigh, and Jamar Curtis, who had a monster year last year, often ran to his side. So he's not just Wells people who's just basically a giant wide receiver. He's a legit blocker, and additionally, a terrific student, 3.83 GPA. Now at Maine, where I'm expecting an even bigger year. One is because I think the offense will be a little more suited to featuring him as a receiving threat, and then secondarily, or in addition, I mean, what a red zone monster threat we're talking about. And he's not the kind of athlete that Donald Parham was coming out of Stetson, right? I mean, Parham ran away from people consistently. He's not going to just run away from people. But he's a good athlete. If he runs in the mid to upper 4.7s, still has a shot at being drafted. If he runs 4.71 or faster, to me, I, I, I don't know why he wouldn't be drafted at that point. To me, the 4.71, 4.72 equals drafted. 4.73 still, let's say 50-50. 4.74 60-40 no, and anything higher than that, he's probably still has a shot, but probably an undrafted free agent. But if he runs in the low 4.7s or even high 4.6s, which would be super amazing at his size, because he's well into the 250s, low to mid 250s. That's a player that, you know, Jay Ramirzma, right? Once again, dating myself, but that's the kind of player I think he could be at the next level. That's one player. The other player, and this is one of people use the term "my guys," but a player that I was once again watching for another player a couple of years ago. I was actually watching for a quarterback at Tennessee Martin and was watching a couple of games of theirs, and I kept noticing this safety that they have. Smart, fast, tough. Now, it should be mentioned that I spotted him originally also at Memphis. Played in 16 games at Memphis. but just a spot player, right? Once again, has that extra COVID year because his career began in 220, and 2021 appeared in 4 games, also 4 games in 2020. Really began to make more of an impact the following season in 2022. 27 total tackles, 3 pass breakups, still a reserve, but a more valuable reserve. Had appeared in 8 games, and against Carolina particularly showed up. Had 7 tackles, including 6 of them being solo stops, and also managed to get in on 6 tackles against Mississippi State. But he wisely ended up transferring to UT Martin, and at Tennessee Martin, he has shown everybody what it could be. I still contend that he would have broken out last year, even if he stayed at Memphis or another FBS school, but he found a great situation and played cornerback also. So he's played both safety and corner. Once again, that helps you to see what he could be at the next level. Had 40 total tackles, 29 of them solo. Had 11 solos. Helped out on 11 others. 3.5 of those were behind the line of scrimmage. 12 passes defended, right? So once again, in 11 games, and on top of that, 11 of those were pass breakups. So he also had 1 interception. Had more than 1 pass breakup in 4 games, and had a season high 3 against Tennessee State. So things to know about him: decent size, probably about 6 feet and 3/4, probably about 199 pounds. I'm once again guessing 4.56 to 4.62, somewhere in that range. Anything faster than that, probably not a draft free agent unless he runs great time. But he's going to make an NFL roster. You heard it from me first. Whether he becomes ever a full-time starter in his career, that so much goes to situation. What's the team like? What they like at that position? What kind of system they run. But a defensive backs coach or a special teams coach is going to see him, see his intelligence, his work ethic, and his good physical ability. Is going to say, I want this kid. I want this kid. I am a Josh Hastings guy. If there's nobody else who likes Josh Hastings, I'm right here. I think other people will get into him. I'm going to talk to, hopefully, my friend Zach McKinley about him soon, trying to have him on my show. But once again, those are my players for today. I'll have 2 more again tomorrow. This is Bill Carroll from Z62 Media, and I'm working once again through my 2024-2025 watch list. All the players I'm watching, not only, of course, for the college football season, but the draft to follow. And I will see you again tomorrow.